Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Week 11 of the NFL season is underway Thursday night. Week 10 went 9-4 overall win-loss, 9-4 versus the spread. Someone that started Week 10 was doing the over/under in points, went 4-9. Learning first week, I guess no big deal, but 9-4 win-loss, 8 versus the spread, which to me in my eyes that's really good. Getting a little better each week. All right, Week 11 starts on Thursday night with the 5-4 Buffalo Bills versus division rivals 5-4 Miami Dolphins. Miami's favored by 5.5. Up until the last couple weeks, or twice I believe this year, the home team has always had such a favorite in the matchup. Here you got Buffalo going to Miami. Buffalo's playing really good right now. Miami, they're above 500. With them being favored, the Week 2 matchup between these two teams, Buffalo and Miami, that was in Buffalo. Buffalo won 29-10. I'm thinking this game is going to be kind of similar, so I'm taking Buffalo, and I'm taking the points at 5.5. The score 42.5. I'm taking the under on that. Neither one of these two offenses is going to score a lot of points. Defenses are both actually pretty good. Miami's defense is giving up about 19 a game, and Buffalo's defense is giving up 20 a game. So it's going to be the under on the 42, and taking Buffalo to win by 5.5. Next game we have the 4-5 Houston Texans versus the AFC rival 6-3 Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns is leading their division, looking good right now at 6-3. Brian Hoyer is just he's not a superstar quarterback. He's just not turning the ball over, doing whatever he can to give his team a chance to win. With their defense is playing pretty good. At home, Cleveland is favored by 3.5. Taking Cleveland with the win, and the points is 42.5. I'm taking the under on that. So Cleveland to win, and the under on the 42.5 on the points. We have the 4-5 Minnesota Vikings versus the 3-6 Chicago Bears. Wow. Not only has Chicago lost 3 straight, they've looked bad doing it. Wow, Chicago's just a train wreck right now. Jay Cutler, wow, how bad can a quarterback be? He had 3 turnovers and 3 interceptions in the last game. I mean, he's just horrendous right now. Chicago's 0-3 at home. They're favored by 3.5 against the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, the Vikings don't have Peterson, but they're not playing horrible ball right now. I'm taking Minnesota on that, get them with the 3.5 points. So Minnesota by 3.5. 47 to go over on points. I'm taking the under on that. I don't think neither one of these offenses can score that many points. I mean, obviously, Chicago's defense is giving up 31 a game, almost 30.8, but I don't think Minnesota can score that many. They're scoring like 18 a game. So this is going to be a relatively low-scoring game, but Minnesota by 3.5. Next game, we have the Seattle Seahawks, 6-3 versus the 6-3 Kansas City Chiefs. Seattle's favored by 1, so pretty much push. I'm actually taking the Chiefs at home, and I'll give them the 1 point, so the Chiefs by 1. I'm taking the under on the 43.5 points. So Chiefs kind of, it's a push at 1 point, so the Chiefs by 1 at home. Under go 7-3, and the defending Super Bowl champions will drop to 6-4. We have the 3-6 Atlanta Falcons versus the division-leading 3-6-1 Carolina Panthers. Yep, I said that correctly. The 3-6-1 division-leading Carolina Panthers. NFC South isn't good this year. Carolina's favored by 2 at home. I'm taking in with that. 46.5 is the points. Taking the under on that. So we got Carolina winning by 2 with the under on the 46.5 points. We got the 5-3-1 Cincinnati Bengals versus the 4-5 New Orleans Saints. Saints are favored by 7 at home. This is one of those games that I was doing my picks. I was go back and forth. Drew Brees, Seattle, New Orleans at home. They're 3-1 at home this year. Cincinnati is 1-2 on the road. You look at the overall record: 4-5, 5-3. Couple bounces either. 5-3-1 from Cincinnati. It's at 5-4. It's at 6-3. That tie against Carolina. This is my limb pick, guys. Taking Cincinnati to go into the Superdome. Andy Dalton beat Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Straight up, I'm not doing points on that one. I'm not giving them the points. Just giving Cincinnati the win. And then the points at 51, I'm taking the under on that. I don't think either one of these teams are going to light it up. Saints are giving up about 25 a game, but Cincinnati's only scoring 21.9. Cincinnati's giving up 23, but Saints can score 28. So based on the two defenses, I'm taking the under on the 51 points and straight up win by Cincinnati going into the Superdome. Next game we have the 1-8 Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the NFC rival 3-6 Washington Redskins at home. Redskins are favored by 7, and the under in points is 45.5. Taking the Redskins, taking the points at 7. Tampa Bay is looking pretty bad this year. We have the 7-2 Denver Broncos. Like I said, they put a spanking on the Oakland Raiders after losing at Foxborough to Tom Brady earlier. Week before that, they're coming into St. Louis versus the 3-6 St. Louis Rams. Rams are looking pretty bad. I mean, Austin Davis is not a good quarterback. He's kind of a Brian Hoyer type, but he's actually turning the ball over, so it's not working for him. You know, Brian Quick being out, Chris Long being out, Jake Long being out, Sam Bradford being out. This team is ravaged by injuries. They got a numerous of their secondary that's out with injuries. Questionable, probable for this game. I just see Peyton just coming into St. Louis and just going stupid. Denver's favored by 10.5, 51.5 points. I'm taking the point 10.5 for Denver winning, and I'm taking the over on the 51.5. So it's going to be a pretty big scoring game. The Rams are giving up 27.9 for the defense, and Denver's scoring 31.8. But the Rams are only scoring 18.1, and Denver's giving up 22. So this game is going to be probably, if I had to take a guess, on the score 42-14, something like that. Kind of like Kansas City beat New England that Monday night 41-14. So it's going to be kind of the same type of scoring game. So I got Broncos leading that. I'm going to do that score 42-14 Broncos. We have 5-4 San Francisco 49ers. NFC conference rivals, the 3-6 New York Football Giants, and yeah, the Giants have not looked good this year. I don't know if it's the quarterback, if it's the surrounding cast, what exactly is going on with the Giants. The 49ers are favored by 4.5. I'm taking them for the win, cover the points. 44.5 is the over/under. I'm taking the over on that. I just have a feeling that these two defenses are giving up. Giants are giving up 27 a game, and San Francisco's giving up 22. So this game could be a pretty decent score game, 30 or something. So I'm definitely going to go over on the points. The 49ers going into New York and winning. With the 0-9, just pitiful Oakland Raiders versus the 5-4 San Diego Chargers. Hey, the battle of the Los Angeles teams. Two of the teams rumored going to Los Angeles, for those of you who don't know what that joke was about. Chargers are favored by 10 at home. The last time these two teams met was week 6, and San Diego won 31-28. So I'm picking the Chargers to win the game, and I'm giving the Raiders the points. And over/under is 45.5. I'm taking the under on that because these teams, I don't see it being that high of a scoring game as it was last time. So I got the Chargers winning that, giving Oakland the points, and then the under on the 45.5. We have the 7-2 Philadelphia Eagles going against NFC rival 6-3 Green Bay Packers. Green Bay at home is 4-0 this year. They're favored by 6.5 against the Eagles. Without Nick Foles, Mark Sanchez, he's looked okay in the first couple of games he's played. He gave him a game and a half, whatever it's been now. I don't think in Green Bay and Lambeau Field, it's supposed to be cold. Packers are 4-0 at home, taking the Packers by 6.5, taking the under on the 57 points. So we got Green Bay winning by 6.5 with the under on 57 points. We got the 7-2 Detroit Lions at another NFC rival, 8-1 Arizona Cardinals. Arizona at home favored by 1.5 without Carson Palmer. days after signing that $50 million contract, tears an ACL. Just a lot of ACL injuries this year. I don't know what's going on in the NFL between preseason and the season so far. You know, we're 10 weeks in, and there's been probably dozens of people ACLs. I just don't understand. You know, multiple quarterbacks down with this injury. It's not a new injury. It's been going around for years. What is causing all of a sudden all these rash injuries in the NFL? That'd be something for the NFL Player Association to look into. Is it off-season training? Is it lack of training? Too much training? What is it? You know. So Arizona's sitting at 8-1. They did win with Drew Stanton as the quarterback. I believe he's 3-1. I just think Detroit's playing pretty good. Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson. It seems like Calvin Johnson's finally arrived. He's finally healthy for once this year. He had a great game last week. I'm taking Detroit to go in Arizona and upset them, and I'm giving them the points at 1.5. So Detroit by 1.5 in Arizona. I'm taking the under on the 42.5 points. Sunday night we have the 7-2 New England Patriots going to Indianapolis and playing the 6-3 Indianapolis Colts. Obviously, Tom Brady has played the Colts a lot over the years, before and after Peyton Manning. Indy's favored by 2.5. I'm taking actually New England by 2.5 in this one. I think Brady can go in and win that. 58.5 is the over/under on points. I'm taking the under. So we got the Patriots upsetting Indianapolis at Indianapolis on Sunday night. Hopefully Brady just has a lights-out game. Brady's on the fantasy team now. Dropped Matthew Stafford, dropped Russell Wilson, picked up Carson Palmer. We all know what happened there. Didn't do well for me. So picked up. I got Tom Brady. Hopefully the rest of the season, Tom Brady can put the Patriots in the playoffs, along with putting Robert Sports Show in the playoffs. Obviously, my fantasy team name is Kansas City Royals fan, baseball reference, baseball fan. I'm looking at changing that, either a Royals fan or maybe to Barky Von Schnauzer after my puppy dog. One of the two. Monday Night Football, we had the 6-4 Pittsburgh Steelers at the 2-7 Tennessee Titans. Pittsburgh, obviously, Ben Roethlisberger coming off of 2 weeks in a row, 6 touchdowns. They threw 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions last week. I think he'll get things back on track. Pittsburgh's favored by 6. I'm picking Pittsburgh to win with the points. Taking the over on the 47. I think after having a bad game last week, Big Ben can just light it up against the Titans. So I got Pittsburgh winning that. That wraps up Week 11 of the NFL season. Obviously did the overall pick the winner versus the spread and the over-under. You know, working on the over-under, getting a little bit better. Well, that wraps the video up. Thanks for watching. Have a spiffy night.